The boy everyone despised. In a small village nestled between dusty hills lived a young man named Ethan. He was poor, so poor that his clothes were patched together from old fabric, and his shoes had holes that let the rain seep in. People in the village looked down on him. Before we continue, please subscribe and like the video. It helps a lot for the channel to grow. Thanks. Here comes the beggar, some would whisper. He'll never amount to anything. Others would laugh. Ethan's father had died when he was young, and his mother worked long hours washing clothes for wealthier families. Despite their struggles, she taught him one lesson he never forgot. Your circumstances do not define your future. Your character does. Yet, life was not easy. Whenever Ethan applied for work, he was rejected. When he offered ideas, people ignored him. When he walked through the marketplace, many treated him as if he were invisible. At first, the cruelty hurt him deeply, but instead of becoming bitter, he made a decision. If nobody believed in him, he would believe in himself. Every evening after work, Ethan borrowed books from an old librarian who saw potential in him. He studied business, mathematics, and the stories of successful people. While others spent their nights gossiping, he spent his learning. Years passed. One day, Ethan noticed that farmers in nearby towns struggled to sell their crops fairly. Middlemen bought produce cheaply and sold it at huge profits. An idea struck him. Using the little money he had saved, Ethan started a small trading service. He connected farmers directly with buyers. At first, nobody trusted him. "Why should we listen to a poor nobody?" they said. But Ethan persisted. He worked harder than anyone. He traveled long distances, negotiated honestly, and always kept his promises. Slowly, farmers began to trust him. Then more joined. Soon, his small operation became a thriving company. Within a decade, Ethan was one of the wealthiest men in the region. People who once mocked him now praised him. The same villagers who had laughed at his torn clothes invited him to their homes. Those who had ignored him suddenly wanted to be his friends. One day, the village held a celebration in his honor. During the event, a man who had often ridiculed Ethan stood up and asked, "How did you become so successful after everyone doubted you?" The crowd fell silent. Ethan smiled and replied, "Because every insult became fuel, every rejection became a lesson, and every obstacle became an opportunity to grow." He paused before adding, "People despised me when I was poor. But wealth did not change who I was. It simply revealed who they were." The crowd lowered their eyes. Despite everything, Ethan never sought revenge. Instead, he built schools, helped struggling families, and created jobs for hundreds of people. Years later, people no longer remembered him as the poor boy everyone despised. They remembered him as the man who rose from nothing, remained humble, and proved that perseverance is stronger than prejudice. And whenever young dreamers faced hardship, they told Ethan's story, a reminder that today's rejection does not determine tomorrow's success. Ethan often opened his home to the village youth, sharing his story and teaching valuable lessons he learned along his journey.
Remember, it's not where you start that counts, but how you use what you're given to carve your path. Build your bridges of kindness and hard work.
Ethan's journey makes me think we really can change our fate if we believe in ourselves consistently. Yes, and it shows that treating others well creates ripples beyond what we can see. And so Ethan's legacy lived on. Not just in the wealth he built, but in the spirit he nurtured. His village transformed, not through fortune alone, but through the newfound unity and determination of its people. For Ethan, the greatest victory was not counted in gold, but in the lives touched, including his own.